Okay, today I'll be revising the topic on plants and animal cells. So you can see here on the left side is the animal cell, and on the right is the plant cell. So before that, I will show you a video clip on this video. Okay, so sit back and relax this video as I play.
I'm Ayush Sinha, and today we're going to talk about cells, a key component of us and every other living organism in the entire world. Did you know that there are just 200 different types of cell in the human body? That may sound small, but there are 150 billion cells of each type. Isn't that surprising? So what is a cell? A cell, by definition, is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism, which is typically microscopic and consists of a cytoplasm and a nucleus, enclosed in a membrane. You can think of cells as tiny pieces of Lego that come together to make an organism. There are many different types of organisms, and they can be classed into two categories: eukaryotic, a plant or animal cell with a nucleus, or prokaryotic, a bacterial cell without a nucleus. In this video, we are going to explore the structure of eukaryotic cells. Now we will take a look at the basic cell structure of an animal, that is including you and me. The outer edge of the cell is a cell membrane, a selective barrier that controls which substances enter or leave the cell. The nucleus, at the center of the cell, contains the organism's genetic material, or DNA, that determines the cell's activities, for example to make certain proteins. The jelly-like substance surrounding the nucleus is called the cytoplasm, in which vital chemical reactions take place, which allow...
Okay, so these three parts are part of your PSLE science syllabus. You need to know the parts, the nucleus, cell membrane, and cytoplasm. This is the animal cells, so you need to know how to label them and also the function. Okay, let's continue.
allow the cell to survive. One such chemical reaction is respiration, the production of energy that occurs at specific sites in the cytoplasm, labeled as the mitochondria. Now let's see what happens when a cell needs to respire. As mentioned before,
okay, as you see, this is a respiration equation. It's actually inside my green color book for those who have it, so-called the nickname the science Bible. Okay, on the left side, you can see here, this C6H12O6, right? So that is, this one is glucose, react with oxygen, and they produce carbon dioxide, water, and most important, energy. So this process is called respiration. Okay, respiration is an important reaction that is required for all living things. So take note. But in terms of the words, right, you are not required to know the chemical formula, but you are required to know like this is glucose, or sometimes called sugar, or sometimes you are called food. Okay, react with oxygen, and they produce carbon dioxide plus water and energy. So the more important thing is this energy over here, this part. Okay, so this one is called the respiration equation. Okay, respiration. So let's continue this.
the process of respiration releases energy, which allows people like us to move. You can think of the mitochondria as a tiny factory. They take in glucose and oxygen and release carbon dioxide, water, and finally energy. Now we will take a look at the basic cell structure of a plant. The cell is similar to an animal cell, with a different shape and a few key additions. In addition to the nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, and cell membrane, it also has a cell wall, vacuole, and chloroplasts.
For PSLE, right, mitochondria and vacuoles are not required. So for plant cell, you need to know the two additional parts, the cell wall and the chloroplast. Okay, the mitochondria is actually the energy producing parts, which convert the glucose into energy. So let's continue.
The cell wall surrounding the cell membrane is a rigid structure made of cellulose and helps to support the cell. The cell wall is an important addition for plants, as they do not have a skeleton like us to make sure they stand upright, so they need some sort of rigid structure to ensure correct growth.
So again, as you heard, the cell wall is made of this thing called cellulose. Cellulose are like those, when you eat vegetables, the fiber that gives the rigid structure. And chloroplast contain chlorophyll, which is needed for photosynthesis.
The vacuole has a similar function to some extent, as it is a large structure in the middle of the cell full of cell sap, a solution of sugar and salts, that supports the cell and keeps it rigid. The chloroplasts floating in the cytoplasm contain little green pigments called chlorophyll, where photosynthesis occurs. Every green part of a plant contains the pigment chlorophyll. Some plants have variegated leaves, which are only half green. You can tell that the green parts contain chloroplasts and the other parts don't.
So this is an example of a leaf. Some parts does not contain chlorophyll. Okay, it's called the variegated leaves.
Now let's see what happens when a plant cell needs to photosynthesize. The process of photosynthesis is used to produce food for the plant in the form of glucose. You can think of the chlorophyll as another tiny factory, which takes in carbon dioxide and water and releases glucose and oxygen in the presence of sunlight. Now that brings us to the end of this video. If you found the video interesting and informative, we would greatly appreciate a like. If you found
This part is the reaction for or equation for photosynthesis. So you take note, the similarity between photosynthesis and respiration. So this one also inside my book, photosynthesis. So if you see here on the left side, right, is carbon dioxide, CO2, plus water, sunlight, and also they need chlorophyll. Okay, chlorophyll to produce glucose and oxygen. So it's important to know that if you remove the water carrying tubes of a plant, right, water supply is not being sent to the leaves. This process cannot happen. So for photosynthesis to happen, water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, and chlorophyll are needed. So these are the four important ingredients for the process of photosynthesis. So now we come back to the question, the paper here. I have written down some answer already. So I'd like you to
the video,
continue the remaining section. So you can see the screen share here, right? I'm doing the screen share, this part. So CM means cell membrane. So this part, can you see cell membrane? CW is cell wall, V is vacuole. So you do your self-evaluation marking. Okay, vacuole, chloroplast. You spell the whole name. I just write the short form here. And then below is the cell division and cell growth. Okay, cell division actually, it means the cell become more and more, like divide itself. So it increases its number. Okay, cell growth, the cell increase in size. But in most organisms, these two processes combine. We call cell proliferation. So the increase in size also increase in number. Okay, next. Okay, this part is remember to fill out this part. Okay, I put here M is to help you. M is a mitochondria. Oh, this M here, but it's not required for your PSLE. So this one, you cross out this one and this one. Okay, for this blank here, right, I want you to refer to this book, page 82. Okay, PSLE science. So there's this part, you can take note. You can copy the shorter version. So nucleus is this one. Control all activities within the cell. You can copy this if you need. Those of you with a book, you can refer. And then cell membrane is this one, controls movement of materials in and out of the cell. And then cell wall. And the next one is the cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm, you write, act as a liquid to allow materials to move inside the cell. And then finally is the chloroplast, contain chlorophyll for the cell to make food. Okay. Okay, can you enable annotation so I can screenshot? Okay, hold on first. Annotation. Okay, you need me to enable in order for you to screenshot. I didn't know that. Okay, already enable already. Annotate and share screen content. Okay. Screen share. Okay. So this part you take note. I would do a snapshot of this for you to copy this answer and then send to the chat there for everyone to refer to. So today is Saturday. You can receive this screenshot, this answer. Okay. So these are the function. Let's continue the next part. So this one we have done. So take note, mitochondria not required, as well as vacuum not required for PSLE. Okay, this one is two questions from two schools. Testing your understanding and application of plant and animal cell. So cell A, of course, this is no cell wall, right? It's an animal cell. It's quite easy, right? So just animal. Okay. So animal cell, animal cell. And the other B is a plant cell. Okay, plant, animal and plant cell. Okay, state the function of X. Okay, as you see here, X is referred to the cytoplasm. So actually you can derive the answer from here. Cytoplasm, you just copy this one. Okay, it acts as a liquid to allow materials to move inside the cell. Or this part. Act as a medium or acts as a liquid to allow materials to move inside the cell. That's a function for the part X. Okay, what will happen to the cell if part Y of cell B is removed? Okay, you must first of all identify what is part Y. So I made an extra effort to indicate this part. Y is pointing on the first layer. Okay, first layer means the outermost layer. So for a plant cell, you remember the outermost layer is the cell wall. So first of all, you must identify, right? Part Y is a cell wall. Okay, or Y is the cell wall. If it is removed, okay, the cell B will not have a rigid shape. Rigid shape. Okay. If it is removed, cell B will not have a rigid shape. Okay, because if you see the function, right, the function of the cell wall is give the cell its shape and or protect the cell. So say when it's removed, right, you will not have a rigid shape. Okay, this part. Okay, next, another part. Function of part A. Okay, part A is a cell membrane. Again, you can copy from here. Cell membrane, right? So you write down this answer. Okay. So part A is this one. Controls movement of materials in and out of the cell. This part. For this question, what is the function of cell A? So it controls movement of material in and out of the cell. Okay, which of the cell above is most likely found in the roots of the plant? So definitely plant, you must choose a plant cell. So it's either X or Y, right? So roots do not have chloroplast. So it's cell X. Okay, so it's cell X. Okay, because you see here, they say explain your answer. So you should say that chloroplast are not present, in the roots of a plant. There are no chloroplasts in cell X. Okay, but cell wall is present. Okay, so you must also indicate that cell wall is present. So first of all, it says cell X indicate which one? Chloroplasts are not present in the roots of the cell. There are no chloroplasts in cell X, but cell wall is present. Okay, so same thing. I send this to your answer for checking. Okay, this paper appears in Nanyang Primary School. Okay, next, this is the part where they are given in details. So you can refer this for your reading. And I want you to take note the characteristics and similarity. So for animal cell and plant cell, this table is quite useful. Okay, this table, similarities and differences between plant cell and animal cell. So similarity, they have the three. Okay, this one is not in the syllabus, so you can strike off this one. They have cytoplasm, cell membrane, and nucleus. Animal cell, no cell wall and no chloroplast. Okay, plant cell, they have cell wall to give it the regular shape or rigid shape. They have chloroplast, which allow them to make food during photosynthesis. Okay, so this is an important part. You can I can screenshot this and then send to your computer now. Okay, next I want you to do a MCQ. I'll give you some time, maybe like a few minutes to do. But before that, I want to talk about this cell division. Okay, if you do mathematics division, right? Like for example, 16, right? Divide by 4, right? The answer is smaller, right? Okay. Okay, but in cell division, it means the cell split itself. So this is a parent cell. So at first, in the beginning, there's one cell. Okay, after the first division, this one cell split into two, becomes two cell. Then after this one, after the second division, the two you times two become 4. Okay, sometimes in the exam, right, in MCQ, usually they show you this diagram here. Okay, they show you this picture here. Okay, and they show you what it means by after first division. So usually this question, they will either ask you, what would be the total number of cells, as I put here, can you see? What would be the total number of cells after the fifth or sixth division? So you just do the mathematics or working here. So the first one you don't count, because you see, this is at first is 1, right? So 1 is always there. So after first division, so I put 1. After first, after second, after third, after fourth, after fifth. Okay. So after fifth division, at that level, at the fifth division level is 32. So you have to sum up everything. You get the answer is 63. Okay, you need to be very careful because sometimes they will ask you this way: how many cells are there in the fifth division? So if they in the fifth division, you just enter the word 32. But if they ask you for the total number of cells you must add up all the levels. Okay, yeah. So you take note of this cell division. Okay, why cell division is necessary? Something that asks you 1-mark question. Okay, cell division is necessary to replace new cell when they are damaged or destroyed. Okay, it is also necessary for the organism to grow. So it's for growth and repair. Okay, growth and repair, and this is being done by cell division. Okay, however, there are some organisms, they do not divide in this manner. What they do is this part grow out, the bud, and the bud becomes bigger, okay, and bigger. And after that, they will become two. So this is called budding. Okay, one example of budding is actually yeast. You know the bread yeast? Yeah. And there's maybe some adults, they die of cancer, right? Because cancerous cell, they may divide uncontrollably and form tumors that can lead to death. Okay? Because it's an abnormal division. They multiply very fast. So you take note of this. I will share with you one video about cell division. Okay, this is a YouTube video on this yeast, which is being, you can see budding in progress. So I would share with you this video. Take note there's a magnification unit here. It's magnified 10 times. Once you add water, it will cause the yeast to be resurrected, so-called come alive. And it placed on this part, on the glass lens, to be viewed under microscope. This is magnified 40 times. This is magnified 100 times. .400 times. .600 times. Okay, you see this part. This part is a budding here, this part. So this one is going to split already, this part. And this one also. This also, yeah. This is 1,500 times maximum magnification. So it's budding in progress of the yeast. Okay, so we have seen the budding of yeast cell. Let us continue the worksheet here. So we have seen this budding. Okay, now I will give you about 5 minutes to do the MCQ of these questions, and I'll come back later to check the answer with you. Okay, 5 minutes.